And so, ye faithful, there is no shadow to see. An early spring for you and me.
Whether or not this Critters forecast is right or wrong,
but Phil is always accurate.
winter doesn't want to give up on us yet. Even with last week's winter storm, it's been another mild and relatively dry winter season. Even with all the incredible moisture we received last week, month after month, for really more than a couple of years now, eastern Oklahoma and much of the state and region have experienced below normal precipitation. Well, our storms have provided a much-needed boost to our area watering holes like Skiatook Lake. The level at the lake still sits several feet below normal. That's when it hits home that it would take a lot more moisture to fill it back up to normal.
Skiatook, the basin is a pretty small basin, so we would need 6 inches of runoff over this whole basin in order to fill Skiatook back up. And that 6 inches of runoff may come from several storms.
If you're wondering what this has to do with our spring outlook, actually a lot. When forecasters look into the future, we have to look at the past and present. We take into account several key variables when predicting what could happen the next 30 to 90 days and beyond. First, meteorologists look at what's going on in the Pacific Ocean. Are the waters warmer or cooler than normal, or somewhere in between? Right now, it's somewhere in between. Forecasters also look at temperature and precipitation trends over the last 10 to 15 years. For us, the trend has been one with rising temperatures and limited moisture. And then you have to take into account how dry or how wet the soils are. And in our case, it's dry. So when you add all these things up, they all play a big part in determining what kind of weather conditions will occur. Right now, forecasters with the Climate Prediction Center are calling for more of the same. Warmer than normal temperatures through May. With an ongoing drought and no major shifts in our weather pattern expected this spring, our normal wet season appears to be anything but wet. All signs point to near normal to drier than normal conditions continuing through May and beyond. That doesn't mean we won't see rain, storms, or tornadoes. But with limited moisture at the surface, you just won't see much of this. What would it take to get the atmosphere energized enough for storms to form? Well, a couple of key ingredients. First, we would need moisture from up above, moisture at the surface, plus wind, which we have plenty of. And I mean lots of it. About 8 to 12 inches of good solid moisture through the end of March into April would certainly jumpstart things again. The likelihood we will get that much rain or snow in the next 30 to 60 days doesn't look promising. At least that is what the latest weather models are showing. However, it's a totally different scene to our east. It appears for now the severe storm zone has moved into our neighboring states. The reason why? Those states aren't in the middle of a drought. They have a lot of moisture to work with, which is exactly what is needed for storms to form.
30 and 40 miles per hour, so nothing severe.
We may have the wind, which is also a key ingredient in helping storms develop. It looks like our storms won't be as active as years past. But don't let your guard down. If it's anything like last year, we will most likely see our fair share of strong to severe storms, and yes, even tornadoes. Oklahoma saw about 50 in 2012, which is about average for the Sooner State. It doesn't minimize the fact that all it takes is one.